Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Hey everyone, welcome to Storytime with Spidey. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Scarlet Spider. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? I gotta come up with my own thing for that. And once again, Spidey is taking off today because he's got his own web of responsibilities and he asked me to fill in for him. And I wanted to tell you a fun story from something I was talking about the other day when someone asked me a rather strange question. They asked me if Peter Parker, the other Spider guy, ever wore my costume. And that's kind of odd, don't you think? I mean, I know that me and him have the same abilities, the same build, the same face, and even the same personality, but we're not the same guy. I'm not him and he's not me. So to ask if he ever ran around in my suit, well, the answer to that question is yes. There was a short period where he actually wore my costume. It was a weird set of circumstances that led to it happening. And I'm going to pull from the handy-dandy Marvel Encyclopedia to explain the situation. Now, as many of you know, I am a clone of Peter Parker. A copy, if you will. Right down to my blood and bones, I'm exactly like him. I was created by Professor Miles Warren, also known as the Jackal, as one of his plans to just kind of mess with Peter's life. But I'm not the only clone that he made. And I'm not even the only spider clone that he made. There was one before me that didn't quite work out. He came out kind of warped. Like as soon as he came out of the tank, his face started to decompose and he was just kind of a mess. His powers got warped and, well, long story short, he could not pass for the real thing. So the Jackal just kind of threw him away, cast him aside, kicked him to the curb. And he was very angry about that. And the name that the first clone gave himself, the same way I gave myself the name of Ben Riley, was Kane. This is him, this is the costume that he wears. Well, the costume he used to wear. He actually became a Scarlet Spider too later down the line, but that's another story for another day. When I left New York to find a life for myself, Kane followed me just to mess with me. And he ended up committing a lot of crimes. And he left fingerprints behind. And when the police checked the fingerprints, and it showed up as a match for Peter Parker, old Petey went to jail for a crime he didn't commit. And he thought I did it. So, to give him a chance to find the truth and prove his innocence, I traded places with him. But in order for that to work out, I had to put on what he was wearing, and he had to put on my costume. And he couldn't go home right away. Kind of a bummer, I know. But he had to do what he needed to do. And it all worked out. He got proven innocent. He got his life back. I went back to doing my thing. But yes, for a little while, old Petey was the Scarlet Spider. And he found out it was kind of tough to be me. A lot of people don't respect me and don't take me seriously because they think I'm just a copycat or a knockoff of the guy that they know so well. And you gotta remember, I didn't ask to be what I am. I'm just kind of working with what I've got. I know how to make web shooters. I stick to walls, so I do what he does. I'm not really trying to copy him though. And some people get that, some people don't. But he found out just how people view me because they were talking to him the way they normally talk to me. Which was kind of the upside to the whole thing. It gave him a new respect for me, for who I am, and for what I'm trying to do. And that's something I think we can all learn from. Sometimes we can look at a person's situation and be so quick to make up our minds about who they are just based on what we see. But we don't always know. What is that? Chrissy! Hi. Nice of you to join us. I was just talking about the time that me and the other spider guy switched places. You may have to go back to the beginning to get it all. But, as I was saying, sometimes we're quick to make up our minds about people based on what we see, when we don't know all the facts. And a lot of people have done that with me. And just like a lot of people think bad things of the other spider guy, mainly because of Jameson, some of them were quick to think bad things of me. And really, I'm just a guy trying to do the right thing, which is what we should all be doing. And that's really all there is to this. So, until next time, true believers, remember, don't go out unless you really need to, and if you do go out, wear a mask. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't need to, or that you shouldn't, or that it's not going to work. Put it on, because your chances are better with it than without it. Always remember that. And until next time, as the other Spidey says, in the words of our great friend Stan Lee, Excelsior!
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like guys. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen up, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, welcome fame, he's ignored, action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang, wherever there